Hi, J-Hope was just on live. I missed it. Hi, everybody. Was he just live just now? Okay, let me say hi to everybody first. Carmi, Angel Star, Hand Painted Paints, Arlene, Bang Luna, Tisa, Beth, Lindsay, Eliz, Z, Apubangpo, Arlene, Julie, Melanie, Sylvia from Cali to with love. Hi all. Hello. A Brown, Cindy, Jalma, Fire Butterfly, PZ, Danny, Debbie, Apo Bangpo, Me Too, Carol, Leah, Celeste is on Twitch. Hi, Laura, Nosy Posy, Me Too. Cindy, Jelma, Shelling, Diana is on X. Hello, the Bio Explorer. Romy, Jane, Too Cold to Bother, Navdeep, Namhar, One Hot Sean, Multisan, Leia, Consuelo, Katie, Aubrey, I am Claudia. My dog wants to say hi. He wants to always say hi. Say hi, baby. He's been out of mood. He was like he didn't want to play fetch today with my mom. He's not eating. I don't know if it's just because he didn't like the food or something else. Okay, hi, Laura, Don Marie. We were chatting with Hobie. Tara, I missed it. Mm, I think I have food on my teeth. Rhea, Marina, Cyan, Helena, Katarina, Wendy is on X, Romy, Sam L. What was he talking about? Danji, Young Forever, Becky, Manine, Elaine. Oh, we have another one from Twitch, Personal Space. Um, Thea from Twitch as well. MMSK LA, Danji, Ms. Boo, Marian, Angel Star. Everyone say hi to baby. Consuelo, I think I've said hi to everybody. Summer, Reg, Jane Beth, Leah, also on Twitch. Tisa, Michelle, Laura, Janine, Diana, One Hutch, Celeste, Jen. Okay, two more singles. He said he's gonna release two more singles. Oh wow. That is great. That is great. I actually was just talking to I might be in Europe in time for his Hi Sugar Rush Dodger Girl. Dodger Girl is on Twitch as well. So I told my subscribers on Patreon that I might be in Europe in time for his Lollapalooza. So if I am, then I'm going to watch him there, and I'm going to be watching him on April here. So it's just that it's exciting for me that I will be watching him in Europe because I've never seen him perform in Europe. Actually, I've never seen any of the BTS members or BTS themselves, the group, I've never watched them perform in Europe. So this is going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to it. So just in case, I hope on Jimmy Fallon to see that. So that's tonight, right? I think that's tonight. He sang a little of Despacito. Wow. Look, it sounds like you guys had fun with him. So I might be there for. The reason I'm going there is to watch Stray Kids with my niece. She's the little girl that's not so little anymore, but I still call her a little girl. I'm sure you understand that. So I am going to watch Stray Kids, and we're going to watch them in Netherlands, and we're going to watch them in UK. So I'm just waiting for her schedule. Now, he keeps on wanting me to give him a scratch with his hand. So I think I have food on my. Okay, he does want some attention. So So I might be there. If I make it, I hope to see some of you, but I will have to wait until she settles her schedule. Then I can arrange my schedule because it's a little easier for me since I don't have to process visa and all of those stuff. Okay. I don't have cable. I'll have to wait to see Jimmy Fallon on YouTube. If you have Amazon Prime, I think you can watch it live. I'm 95% sure. Um, okay. Hobie was so cute. He always is. I'm going to watch his live. MMSK, Skyla. Hi. Cindy said she's available to be adopted. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about today. One of the things that I actually wanted to talk about is the fact that Jimin is now the longest charting solo song by a K-pop soloist in Billboard Hot 100 history. He formally surpassed Gangnam Style by 1 week. But of course, we're not going to be happy about that, right? We want the song to stay there for as long as possible because we know that the industry is actually trying to take that record away from BTS. So as of today, he's actually not on track to chart inside Billboard Hot 100. So if you can, please do premium streams. I've mentioned this several times before that we need to have multiple devices. So please sign up to any second or third music streaming platform like Tinder, Deezer, Napster. If you don't have Amazon Music, sign up on those. There are free trial for a month, and you can switch from one platform to another. So this week get a free Untitled, and then next week, next month Deezer, and then Amazon Music. He's not tracking to be inside Billboard Hot 100. So what happens is that he's going to get into a recurrent stage. That means that after some time, when a song has been inside Billboard Hot 100 for some time, if you go lower than 50, they take you out automatic. So we don't want him to go recurrent. He's not tracking. I hope you all understand this. He's not tracking to be inside Billboard Hot 100. And because he doesn't have radio spins, the only thing he has going is streams. So please stream. We need to panic stream. We only have 3 tracking days to get him back inside Billboard Hot 100. And because he has been inside Billboard Hot 100 for so long, if he goes recurring, he's never coming back unless he goes straight to number one because of something. So usually, if a song has already charted for such a long time, they don't bring it back. So please, we do need to stream it. Okay. Now, outside of surpassing Gangnam Style's record, he also tied BTS's record for the longest charting song by a Korean native inside Billboard Hot 100 with 32 weeks. So there are now 2 top 1s, but again, this is not safe. We all know what the industry is trying to do. They're pushing certain songs, they're raining radio spins just to keep it inside and take the record away from BTS. Please. Now, the only thing that we have to remember is that no matter what happens, because there really is no solo song that seems to be charting this long, uh, they will most likely keep the record for having the longest charting song by a Korean native with no collaboration. So all other songs that are charting, they have collaborations except Who and Dynamite. So most likely they will hold this record for a really long time. No collaboration, they will remain the longest charting song inside Billboard Hot 100, most likely until BTS comes back. But let's not be comfortable with this, please. Let's not be complacent. We need to stream. Okay, have a second, get a second, a third device, an old laptop, an old phone, an old computer, please. Okay, Dodger Girl said streaming now. So she's saying, shut up, I'm already streaming. Okay. Um, YouTube, the original channel account has commented on Stray Kids and now Jenny. Why the bias? I always wonder Army will support our dear members. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. So Jimin is not the only one that's achieving something. J-Hope also is achieving great things for Sweet Dreams. He has become the first Korean to chart number one inside US iTunes for songs released in 2025. So for a Korean act, he is the first artist in 2025 to go number one in US iTunes with Sweet Dreams. Okay, aren't you proud? I'm so proud of Hobie, especially because we all know when it comes to their songs, they really are the ones that are conceptualizing everything. And for Hobie, he wrote it, he co-composed it. So I'm very, very happy about that. Wait, aside from that, there's one more. He also went to he was also on top of European iTunes song charts for the second week, I think. Third day, atop the worldwide and European iTunes song chart. So very proud of Hobie. So there is absolutely no reason we will not be able to stream both Who and Sweet Dreams. Remember, you cannot and should not, actually, you shouldn't play a song consecutively in your playlist. Whatever it is that you're streaming, you need to actually put different songs in between that. And don't have a pattern. Don't just do two to three songs in between the songs that you're trying to chart, because that's the algorithm will know that the algorithm will know your pattern, and then they're not going to count your charts. So you have to make sure that you're putting different numbers of songs in between the song that you're trying to spin to stream. Okay, don't do it consecutively because that your chart won't count. Okay. Dawn Marie said, I absolutely love Sweet Dreams. I obsessively listen to it. It's such an easy listen, so it's easy to like. It's such a great song when you're to listen to when you're driving, or when you're just busy inside the house doing something. You can put it on because you don't have it's just so relaxing to listen to. So please listen to it. Okay, please stream it together with Who. Okay, now I think some people already heard that Billboard is actually changing its charting rules. There hasn't been any announcement after that, and it wasn't Billboard who actually announced that they are going to change the charting rule. It was actually Talk of the Charts and some other online accounts on X, and I think on Facebook and on Instagram. They started talking about Billboard changing their charting rules, and that it's going to rock the industry. It's going to change and the way people are going to think about songs from here forward. So no one knows what it is, but there are some rumors on what it's going to be. So before we get into the rumors, let's just analyze what's actually happening with Billboard, with the music industry, especially in the West. Okay. Number one, um, this is the truth of the matter. There are very, very few people who chart that can also fill up stadium. So for some reason, the popularity of the artist isn't necessarily translated to the chart. So just because you're charting on Billboard doesn't mean that you can fill up a stadium, not even an arena. So that in itself for a lot of people is questionable, because how can an artist not fill up a stadium and have relentless number one singles? There must be something wrong. Um, because the truth is that even for charts, you can manipulate it. You can pay streaming farms, you can pay radio to pay, they don't call it pay. You can develop relationships with radio station managers for them to continuously play your songs. But when it comes to concerts, You either, if that doesn't get filled up, if the arena or stadium doesn't get filled up, your only option is to just leave it blank, or you give it away. So that the power of the artist is not translated into actual paying customers when it comes to concerts. So it is making people doubt on how much reliable the chart is. If there is no consistency between the two, then probably there's one thing that's wrong. And most likely that's not going to be concert sales, because that is an actual purchase and you have physical bodies going to the venue. Um, so can someone answer, Celeste? Is it me, or did it freeze for everybody else? Am I frozen? Am I frozen to everybody else? Next, there is a change in the concept of celebrities by, specifically by Gen Z, because they don't consider movie stars and artists to be the celebrities anymore. It seems that for them, YouTubers, influencers, online gamers, those are who they consider to be celebrities. So if they don't anymore not appreciate, but they don't get starstruck with singers, professional singers, with professional actors, and that if that trend continues, then charts that primarily caters to celebrities in the traditional sense won't be relevant anymore. So if they have any brains in them, they would realize that they need to change something in order for them to know, in order for them to stay relevant, as the concept of what a celebrity is evolves among Gen Z. And Gen Z is the incoming generation. So eventually they're going to grow old, they're going to dictate what they want to consume, what will be dominating the market. And so they have to cater their chart to reflect better what Gen Z wants. Now, the interesting thing to do, or the interesting thing is that Billboard actually tried. They did try to be more attuned with what Gen Z wants, because they created Billboard TikTok charts. So they were tracking the biggest hits in Billboard, the top 50 in Billboard for an entire week, and that went on for 18 months. And then just this month they dissolved it. So a lot of people, I think he wants to go down. You want to go down, baby? Okay. Okay. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye to everybody. Bye. Bye. I love you. Okay. Okay. So the interesting thing is that they did try to stay in attune with what the what the Gen Z generation wants, and they tried to create a Billboard. Not try, but they actually created Billboard TikTok top 50. So just like Billboard Hot 100, it goes on weekly, but then they dissolved it. They didn't really explain why they dissolved the chart, but many are speculating that it is because songs don't stay a hit in TikTok for such a long time. Because I'm sure for those of you who are in TikTok, you would know just how short the attention span of people there are. So once they are done with the song, once they've used it after several days, they change into something else. And so it's so hard to track what's an actual hit, because it keeps on changing almost on a daily basis. Okay, so but it doesn't change the fact that Billboard recognizes that the way that they are doing charts right now, and the way that they are catering to celebrities and big media companies, it's not going to be relevant to the incoming generation, which is Gen Z. Okay, they said that the next generation is called Generation Beta, was it? Or Generation Alpha, something like that. Okay. Um, then there is the rise of micro organizations that are just creating spaces for their own artists. For example, Hybe, they created Weavers. And so for us, if we want to keep in touch with the celebrities, if we want to buy their merchandise, if we want to know when they are releasing their songs, or if we want to know what kind of activity that they're going to have, we just go to Weavers. So we are now actually bypassing their publication, Billboard. And remember, Billboard actually don't earn from the chart. They earn from advertising in their publications. So online publications and the magazine, that is supposed to be their primary business. If without that, then they don't actually earn. So Billboard charts, it's actually just a unique selling proposition, but it's not what you actually buy, at least not in concept. Now, because we're not catering to their magazines anymore and to their newspapers, we're going directly to the spaces that organizations created so that we can have direct communications with our favorite artists. They are becoming irrelevant. So they're not earning as well. So that is another reason they recognize they have to make changes with how they're tracking hits, or their business won't last so long. Next, it's also becoming harder for them to push stars. At least in my opinion and opinion of several other journalists, the last great star that they created is probably Olivia Rodrigo. After her, there hasn't really been a legit star that can actually sell out tours, sell out stadiums, automatically launch songs into number one of Billboard Hot 100. It's all so scattered, like there, because we have so much access to different technologies, our concept of celebrities and what we like and what we want to consume are so scattered that it's becoming harder for any for labels or even for publication to actually latch onto something and earn a lot from it. So with the absence of big stars like Olivia Rodrigo or Michael Jackson of the old times, Michael Jackson of the old times, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, or even Britney Spears, if we they don't have that, the industry is going to die. And they are not going to survive much more because organizations like Billboard, they don't have their own stars. They're just latching onto the stars that labels are actually creating. And they that is also why Billboard caters to the industries, to labels, to major labels, because they actually don't have their own stars. They're just using the stars that these labels are creating. And so when the label wants something, they do it. Okay, so now given all of this, um, people are speculating based on this. They have some theories on what the changes will be. Okay. Okay. And then there are some more developments that happened the last month that nobody is talking about. So, one option is the restriction on sales manipulation. So, Billboard might tighten rules around how sales are counted, such as limiting the number of digital purchases per customer per week, or excluding heavily discounted sales entirely. So, this is a big strategy that many labels are using nowadays. So, they will launch a digital single and they will price it, let's say, $1.99. After day one or after 12 hours, they're going to drop that to just 25% of the original cost. And that's going to allow people to actually purchase four instead of just being able to purchase one. Now, some people are saying that Billboard is probably going to just allow one purchase per person of the digital single, because in principle, you only need one copy of the digital single. Okay. So remember, in 2022, they already limited digital song sales to one customer per week to stop bulk buying. So they are probably going to limit that further into just one customer per life. Okay. It's just a matter of knowing how to track that specific customer. Next is they might adjust streaming weighting. So remember that they recalibrated on how they counted the streams. So, for example, if if a stream comes from paid account, then that stream counts higher. If it is a free account, for example, in Spotify, then that stream counts lower. Now, some people are suggesting, because Spotify now has been pushing songs. If you pay Spotify, as you know, the pay per play, if you pay for a specific marketing, sorry, for the marketing of a specific song, they can push that. And they've been abusing that. Many labels are actually abusing that feature. And so some people are speculating that probably Billboard will not count streams that came from paid efforts. So, for example, if Spotify pushes you the song, I don't know, by John Smith, titled I Love You So Much, if that's the title of the song. So you're scrolling through something and then your song ends and Spotify pushes that song to you and you play it. You didn't stop it, you just allowed it to play. Billboard will most likely, one of the changes that people are speculating uh, that Billboard is going to make is that they won't count the stream coming from paid advertising or paid marketing. Okay. Bang Luna said, as long as they count radio, their charts will be bogus, in my opinion. I don't think that's going to go away, actually. The weight might change, but I don't think that's going to go away. Now, they might also limit merch bundles again. So remember in 2020, they they disallowed bundling. That means there is a merch from the artist and the CD. So when you buy, it's bundled together. Now they stopped that altogether. They refused to count purchase or sales of a song that's bundled with a merchandise. And then they brought it back. Okay, that's that's capitalism for you. So they brought it back, and some of the, not worst, I wouldn't call it worst, but some of the biggest bundling happened was done by the Weekend. He was a champion of bundling. He bundled like shirts. So there were like more than 80 items on his shop that you can bundle with your CD. And so those that are die hard will just buy each of the 80 merch, and that will be bundled by the album. And so one person in effect can actually account for 80 pieces of the CD. So they stopped that, but they might Hits Daily Double report, the report of Hits Daily Double hinted that they are going to, their exact, the terminology that the Hits Daily Double used is that they are curbing gaming tactics, and bundling remains a sour point of gaming tactics. So that's one speculation. All right. Next, they are probably going to limit versions for a song. So remember, K-pop is big on versions, but K-pop didn't start this. They've been Other Western artists have been doing this for such a long time. They will release an original version and then remixes and then different versions and whatever. And there is some people are speculating that they're probably going to limit the version that they will count towards the chart to two. Okay, so however, remember, all of this are speculations. There is another option, and that is the incorporation of new metrics inside a chart. So Billboard might introduce separate charts for real-time charts versus a weighted charts, so that this is going to add new data points like social media engagement or playlist placements to reflect modern consumption. So right now, outside of TikTok, they don't really count the plays on Instagram or Facebook or not even YouTube background music. So if I use, for example, Fake Love of BTS as a background in my video, that is actually not considered a play or a stream inside Billboard Hot 100. Some people are saying they are probably going to consider that. They have to start considering that people are people's habits, listening habits, and how they actually discover their artists. It's already changing. Now, it's not all these changes, of course, have consequences. It's not like they can do this without any kind of consequence. One is that most likely some people are saying that if labels are not able to manipulate the chart in the way that they are used to manipulating it, they are probably going to go into streaming farms. And this is not anything new. Remember, The Weeknd was actually caught having a stream farm, which he vehemently denies. He said it wasn't him who's doing all of the streaming, who has been paying the streaming farms. He said that it's probably a fan or whoever, he doesn't know. But he clearly denied any connection to the streaming farm that was discovered streaming his songs. Okay, but now there are operations. Usually they do this in other countries like India, but there are also streaming farms in New York, for example. So some people are speculating that if labels are unable to chart their babies inside Billboard Hot 100 or inside any kind of chart, the usual way, they're probably going to go and hire streaming farms, pay streaming farms to stream their the artists that they are pushing. Next is the playlist rigging is probably going to become worse. It's already bad right now. I have shown you guys that you can actually really pay for playlisting, right? You can go to an organization or a website, pay them a certain amount, and then they will get your songs into how many 50, 100, 200 playlists. And they say that that's not a guarantee, but you know, so it's if again, if Billboard limits the ability of labels to chart their babies, their artists, then probably they're going to go and look for other ways on how they can do that. Most likely playlist rigging. So if they're paying 200,000 to rig playlists to put their songs, the artists, the songs of their artists in playlists, they're probably going to double or triple that. It's the point is it's not going to stop them from doing what they want to do. Now, do consider that there have been certain developments in the recent years. When I say recent, it's like 10 years, maybe 5 years. One of which is actually the lawsuit of Drake against Universal Music and iHeart. Now, this is strange. If you search this case, so he sued Universal Music, stating that Universal Music helped Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us to chart in order to pull his reputation down, to destroy his reputation, because in the song, Kendrick Lamar called him a pedo. Okay. So he said that Universal, so he's not saying that I don't like being dissed. He's just saying that Universal Music manipulated and pushed the song, which in turn destroyed his reputation. Okay. So if you search this, everyone, all the articles that are coming out simply says that he's settled, that the case is settled, and that iHeart, because they're included in the lawsuit, iHeart says we didn't do anything wrong. That is strange. If you dig deeper, you will find out that Universal actually paid him. They didn't want this to get to court, and they paid him a huge amount of money. And then the other side of it is that Drake is one of the few artists who managed to forge a contract with a big label like Universal, while owning his own masters. So Drake actually owns his masters right after he signed a deal with Universal Music. He included in that deal, in that contract, is him owning his own masters. So basically he can do anything he wants to do with his music. Now he has one left in that contract that he signed with Universal Music in 2022. He has one album left. Okay, one album. After that, he's free of Universal Music. So the speculation is that because he makes a lot of, I don't know if you know this, but he actually is a bigger artist on the chart in streaming than 99.9% of artists, probably even bigger than Taylor Swift when it comes to streaming, or close, something like that. But he makes a huge amount of money for the labels because of the power, the commercial power that he holds. He can now renegotiate his contract to get even more money. So some people are saying that Universal Music used that song in order to drag his reputation down, thereby lowering his commercial value, so that when he renegotiates the contract, then he is not going to be as expensive as he should be. Pure speculation. The other thing is, remember that his lawsuit was not a complaint against Kendrick Lamar releasing a diss track. He was complaining that Universal Music destroyed his reputation. They pushed the song that calls him a pedo without proof, um, even though he is also their own artist. Okay, so that's one development. Second development is BTS. Remember that BTS thus far really is the only artist, along with their solo members, Jungkook, Jimin. These are the only artists that can actually chart a song so powerfully without the support of major labels. Now, they aren't the only ones. Sorry, they're not the only ones, but they're one of the few who can actually own the chart, fill up stadiums, and get so much support without the backing of a major label. So we are now going back to the original argument that I was talking about, that Billboard is becoming irrelevant. Our habits, our consumer habits, our consumption habits, the way that we discover music and the way that we discover and support our artists, they are changing. And we are now bypassing organizations like Billboard. We don't see them as relevant as they used to be. Like, for example, me personally, the only time I will go to Billboard is if I want to see the chart, or if I know that they wrote an article or a feature about the artist that I like. Other than that, I'm not going to bother going to their website or buying their magazine. Given that, and BTS is coming back, right? So the model of BTS, that is going to be replicated and refined and evolved by many other labels, including Hybe, until they get to that one formula, a refined formula that will give them acceptable number of hits and big artists, and it's going to come. So if Billboard does not evolve to fit our consumption habit, then they are going to become irrelevant. That's why they're trying to change the way, or at least they're trying to evolve to reflect better what we actually listen to and how we actually communicate with or consume, how we actually consume the music that we like. Okay, so those are the speculation. Those are the only things. So I do know some people in the industry. So I've been asking them questions about, like how, what's exactly will the change, like what is the exact changes that will happen, or let me just do this. Okay. I've been asking them questions like what are the changes exactly, but of course they can't tell, otherwise they're going to lose their job. But whatever it is, do remember that at the end of the day, Billboard is a for profit organization. So, what they're going to do first and foremost is to try and make money. They're going to do everything they can to stay relevant, to stay afloat, and to continue earning money. So, once they announce the changes, if it sounds like they're actually favoring non industry plants, don't believe it right away. Dig deeper, just take a pause, and then just think about it before you actually make a decision. Analyze the statement because the devil is always in the details. So they said that the change is probably going to be announced next month, not this month. Okay. Do you have questions? Angel Star said, like this video. Oh, kind of. Wait, where's the like this? Oh, Fire Butterfly said, like this video. Please like this video. Okay. Fire Butterfly said, like this video. Please like it. We have, I don't know how many people we have on just on YouTube, but overall I have about 627 people. So for everybody on Twitch, please like the video. I don't know if I'm actually able to go live on Instagram. I tried. I don't know if I'm live. Is there anybody who has Instagram who's following me and can tell me whether or not I am live on Instagram? Because I'm not sure. 411 on YouTube. So I hope that at least I have 350 likes. Unless there are people here who are just watching but and are just waiting for me to say something that they will use against me. um Oh, Fire Butterfly said, Hobie saw my comment on live. That's why he mentioned Switzerland. Strong music. I was hoping to go to Switzerland in this trip, but it's so tough. So I'm going to be landing on Netherlands. Uh Probably Netherlands. So Amsterdam is where I'm landing. And then I'm going to stay there for several days, watch the concert of Stray Kids. And then that's when, if I manage to get a ticket for J-Hope's Lollapalooza, then I will watch it. So I will probably go to Germany. If I go to Germany, I'm going to stay in Germany until I have to fly to UK. If I don't get tickets for Lollapalooza, then I'll probably gonna go Paris, and then go to UK. Call said only 23 likes. Come on. Like the video. Do you have what is the IG account? Asian EAC. Oh, sorry, I am Fairlane. Wait, let me type. That's my IG. Okay, so do you have questions? Do you have questions about the changes of Billboard? Do you have questions about Drake's lawsuit? It's so this lawsuit and the way that the media is actually trying to like suppress that story is just another level. If you go to Google, you're not going to see anything about the settlement. They're just going to tell you that it was dismissed, but they will not tell you about the settlement, how much money they actually paid Drake. And on a deeper level, I think one thing that Drake did that no other artist did is actually take action. They sued, not really take action, but like he actually he went for the money. He sued Universal Music for what they did to him. Um, Other artists just let it go, right? And it probably is because they don't care about these huge labels, these big labels. There are a lot of other artists who are really angry at different labels, but they just let it go because for them it doesn't matter. Like whatever you do, whatever you say, it doesn't matter. Like the chart doesn't matter to us. We know for BTS it doesn't matter to them for as long as they know that their music is getting to armies that were listening and enjoying it. It doesn't matter to them. But I think the one good thing that Drake did is he actually went after the money and he got paid. So yeah. So now they're going to think twice about what they're going to do to him, because he's going to go and sue again. Now the other thing is that it doesn't have to be Spotify. If you are worried about paid playlisting, artificial pushing of songs, don't leave Spotify and go to Apple Music, Amazon Music, go to um Tidal, Napster. Napster is the company that pays the highest to the artists, and they have better sound quality. Spotify is actually probably one of the worst in terms of sound quality. So you don't have to subscribe to this streaming platforms. There are options. Go to the smaller ones, support them. At least if Spotify is not dominating the market, probably they're going to get their act straight. Juveline, hi. Um, Apo bang po, can you take me along in your suitcase? I won't bother you, promise. So this trip is my gift to my niece. So it was her birthday March 1. So I didn't really give her any gift because I knew that she wanted to do something like go out of the country or whatever. So this is my gift to her. Okay. Pao said bully board. only makes things harder for non-American artists. Weren't Grammy supposed to do a K-pop version? Do you remember that? Yes. So um, I think they were. Yes, I do remember that they were supposed to do a K-pop version, K-pop Grammy, Asian Grammy or Korean Grammy or something like that. And Billboard certainly has a K-pop chart. So yes. Um, when are you leaving? So that really depends on my niece because she has to get her visa first. So once she gets her visa, then I'll know when to leave. But it's probably going to be like maybe 7, 8 of July. 7, 6, 7, 8 of July. Beth said, "Can we go with you?" Of course, you can come with me. Sam Al said, "You aren't live on Instagram." I don't know how to go live on Instagram. Hmm, I thought I did. It says streaming, but I don't know. Do I need to actually manually go live? Maybe if I do this. Wait, am I live now on Instagram? A Brown. Thank you, A Brown. A Brown said, big hype, given how big hype is now with the US connection, isn't it considered a major label now? I'm curious, do BTS members own their masters? Yes. So they co-own their masters. Oh yes, repeat, erase. So I have never seen the contract of BTS. I don't have any direct connection with Hybe or any organization connected to Hybe, directly or remotely. Okay, just want to make it clear. So my answer saying that yes, they co-own their masters, that was based on um, talks. So I have a friend who's a friend of somebody, and that is what they say. There are also some like word going around within the industry, because that's the industry where I'm in, and this is like what they have been told. Now, do I know that 100%? No. Like, I don't know that 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure on that. But that is like, if you go around the industry and talk about it, they're just like, they're going to tell you, like, yeah, they co-own their masters. It's one of the rare, like, the deal that they have has never been seen by the industry before. So, and that is globally as well. According to AP, in exchange for documents that showed iHeart did nothing wrong, Drake agreed to drop his petition. No payments were made by either one of us. So iHeart ratted out Universal Music. His target was actually really Universal Music. So if you go and search the news is just about this case being settled, but there was just this one article who wrote about the settlement, and something, I think it was like somebody posted on X, and yeah, so the wording is very, very careful as to not imply no settlement was made, but there it was also careful to not imply settlement. So it was carefully worded so you cannot assume settlement was made, and you cannot assume no settlement was made, something like that. In Drake position, I would sue too. I mean, I'm not a huge Drake fan. Just want to make it. I'm not really. I'm a J Cole girl. He's my favorite rap artist. So J Cole and then Eminem. So those two are my favorite rappers. So Drake, I just like some of his music. Some of it I don't like, but I just like that he sued. Like, he went after the money, and yeah, I would do the same thing too, because he didn't go after. I guess he kind of realized that it was a battle, and this is just this track dissing each other is a part of hip hop. I think his point is just that you push the song in order to spread this rumor about me being a pedo. So I would do the same thing. If you don't have any proof, then yeah. Okay. Oh, I can see myself on Instagram now. It seems that I am live on Instagram. Okay. Um any other, there's one question that I saw. Um No, that's not it. Will you be interviewing any creative directors from Korea? I have a question I'd like to ask them. I'm working my way through it. I think one of the things that I realized in this industry is that you do need to like build your reputation first as a channel, as a media entity before they actually, before the big names actually start entertaining your call. So the entertainment lawyer, Ken Sterling, I was just lucky that he was so kind and that he really wanted to share what he knows. And the cases of K-pop actually excited him. That's why he said yes. So otherwise, that's actually what that him as an interviewer is like a huge get for me. It's like a big is a big fish in the Hollywood industry. So, like if you mention him, most likely people know him. So, but I guess he said yes specifically for that interview because he really was curious about K-pop. And because my question sort of gave him some information about K-pop, he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it because I'm curious." But yes, so the question to your answer, sorry, the answer to your question is working my way to that. I'm trying to get some of the people that I'm trying to get as for my next interview, psychologists and psychiatrists and sociologists, because I want to get to know like the science of marketing. I'm in the marketing field. It's just that they will talk about like the science, the psyche of the consumers and all of those stuff. When do the new Billboard rules kick in? Most likely April. They said April is when they're going to announce, right around that time. um Fire Butterfly, there was a lot of maybe in his answers, but he explained why. Are we talking about Ken? Yeah, because he's a lawyer. So the first thing that he would always say is that it depends, because number one, for a lawyer to actually give their opinion, they need the actual documentation. Like they need the details of the case, and with no details, then it will be hard for them to give like a definitive answer. So usually they would go maybe, it depends, something like that. Okay. Ken, case by case, yeah, it depends. It depends. The last question, he was a little different. He was like, it's complex. But it was, I mean, for me, it was really enlightening. It was so insightful. So I hope that you found it insightful too. um In between lines, we must read that we need to stream Fairy Lane interviews so we can have more heavyweights here. I hope so. Yeah, please share the interview. Thank you. Thank you. The interview was great. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Dodger Girl, I thought that Ken was great. Yeah, please follow him on LinkedIn. If you have LinkedIn, please follow him on LinkedIn and also visit his website. That really helps. Um, Legal golden rule number one, it depends. Yeah, there's another version of that. Yes and no. As another version of it depends. What is the website again? It's Sterling Media. Wait. His website is, I'll paste it here. Thank you, Jelma. The interview felt like an e-special. Wow. Thank you. That is the website, Sterling Media Law LLC. You were amazing at it. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, let's go to our next topic. Actually, this is sort of connected to that because a lot of people were shocked by some articles that came out on Dispatch and different publications on Korea after the first injunction. Now, just want to make it clear that we there is this prevailing sentiment that Hybe is going to win this or Adore is going to win this. I would say don't get too excited. Um, we have seen a lot of decisions in South Korea that aren't fair. I've mentioned before, the case against, for example, Sungri, I think that's 25 to life and he got 18 months. So it isn't always fair. And so I think if there's anything that people should celebrate is the fact that ADOR was able to prove their case very, very clearly. Now, whatever the court decides on, we don't know what's going to happen. Okay. So one of the major things that came out after the injunction is that Hani might have committed perjury. Okay. Let me just make the statement. People, when you are under oath, even if it is not the court, like if you're in any kind of legal setting or the government, or when you are filling up a legal document, do not lie. Okay? Don't ever lie. Because once somebody catches you lying, you are done for. Do not ever lie. Okay? So, if you lie under oath, that is perjury. Now, people are now asking, there are so many inconsistencies between her statement and what they submitted to the court. Is that perjury? So, one, they backtracked on the date of the eyelet incident. So, remember, on the day during the court case, Adore slash Hybe presented the video of the actual incident that happened and when it happened. So, in that video, it was evident that the members of Isle It actually bowed to them, meaning to Hani and Daniel. So they bowed 90 degrees and then they kept on walking. And so Hyde said that it only goes to show that nobody instructed the kids, meaning Isle It, to ignore them because they actually bowed, right? So now they're saying that it was a different date. Okay. Second, Hani said that the manager did not meet her eyes, meaning they didn't lock eyes. They didn't look at each other, but is now stating they locked eyes. So initially she said, no, we didn't look at each other. Now she's saying, no, we actually looked at each other, because that's going to make it a stronger case if they looked at each other and then the manager said, ignore them. Okay. Um, Next is that they lied, or they remembered incorrectly, maybe, that Adore employers were harassed and forced into a room for hours. So they're saying that they, at some point when this entire case was happening, so this actually referred to the one of the Adore employees, then Adore employee, working, Adore employee, and she or he was caught making a deal, brokering a deal between a brand and New Jeans directly. She was bypassing Adore, even though she was working for Adore. Adore caught it, so she was questioned. And now they said that the Adore employers, the Adore employees were harassed and forced into a room for hours for questioning. Now they're saying that actually didn't happen, but they said that before. Okay, so three inconsistencies in her statement, or in their statement. Now, another thing is that they submitted, so Nujin submitted a copy of the Kakao Talk messages between Nujins and Min Hee-jin. Now, Adore and Hybe submitted their own, and according to what they submitted, what Nujin submitted was redacted, meaning they took out some things which did not properly contextualize the conversation. So that's a no-no, people. Again, I just want to emphasize, I'm not a lawyer, but I am sure 99% of the people here will know and agree with me that when you are submitting a legal formal document, and if you are under oath, do not lie. That's going to get you into trouble. They do not, like, once they prove that you're lying, you're going to go to jail, because that's perjury. You cannot ever disrespect the court. Okay? The court is the last form of defense of the country. So you do not ever disrespect that. Never ever lie. Okay? never distort the documents. Do not redact until you are actually asked to redact certain portions of the document. If you're going to submit something, you're going to submit it or talk to your lawyer so that you know how to properly do it. But don't ever lie. Okay, so now what Nugent submitted is apparently redacted. So they took out some things which miscontextualized the entire conversation. So when Hybe submitted their own version of the messages, the court saw, okay, so you change some things. All right. Now, in here, another thing is that Hybe, now this is the odd thing. Apparently, Min Hee-jin submitted certain documents to the court in relation to the injunction. Okay, she submitted certain documents to the court. What Hybe did was take some of the things that she submitted and use it as proof. And one of it is the accusation of ILA copying Nugent's or plagiarism. Okay, so in the messages of Min Hee-jin with somebody from ADOR, formerly from ADOR, Min Hee-jin admitted that the plagiarism accusation is weak. Like it's very vague. It's not a strong case. But she needed something to use against Hybe. And so she decided to do it, even though she knows the plagiarism is a very, very weak case. It does not actually provide anything strong. And all of this is documented. Okay. So now, so someone said, I'll get to you. Someone said, like, why did Hybe allow her to use BTS? Okay. So this is part of that conversation. The ILIT allegation against ILIT plagiarism was weak. She decided to use it against Hybe because she had nothing else to hold on to. So all of this, that things that you're seeing on the screen, those are all the documents, part of the documents that Hybe and ADOR submitted to the court. So now, all that being said, remember that Hybe actually submitted like 280 pages of documentation. Nugent submitted 90. And there were some reporters said that the judge asked Nugent's, their law firm specifically, to redo the entire documentation because he has nothing to go on. So he said, I'm going to give you a deadline, but you have to represent or present more evidence because you don't have any case. Now, we don't know if that is true. That was reported by one publication from South Korea. Now, the question is, did she commit perjury? If the things that she said in the assembly or the things that she said and submitted to the court are lies or not true or inconsistent or inaccurate, can that be perjury? Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to give you a definitive answer on whether or not it is perjury. This part, I do know. If the court proves that you lied, that is perjury. Now, maybe she can say that I don't know if the court will accept it. Maybe she can say that, it's been such a long time. My memory is failing me. I thought we locked eyes. Maybe we didn't. I thought she said this and whatever. Now, do remember that after the hearing, Hanni posted a message on Instagram saying that she remembers, because this is after Hybe posted or submitted and talked about the Kakao Talk messages she had with MHJ, with Min Hee-jin. And in that messages, she said that she wasn't sure what the manager actually said. And she said it's not a big deal. Like I just found it funny or something like that. So in court, she didn't say anything. And then after that, she posted a message on Instagram saying that she remembers everything. It's just that it was taken out of context. At least that's what she was telling Hybe. And she's warning Hybe and ADOR to leave them alone. Of course, this is a court case, so there's no leaving alone. They're gonna have to continue this case until it's actually settled. So and the next thing is actually also, if you ever get to that position where you have that your words or your text messages are being distorted, you do need to speak up in court, not in social media. Okay. So don't follow that. Don't do what she did. So if you need to say clarify something, you do it in court, not in social media, if there is a court case. Okay. Now, question by Fire Butterfly: would the assembly um, live? She did like what she did with her group member, where she laughed about crying. Evidence Hybe handed in as evidence. Wait, would the assembly would the assembly live? She did with her group. Can you clarify your question? It's not very clear to me, Fire Butterfly. Dodger Girl, she never should have posted anything. I'm surprised her attorneys never told them to stay quiet. Or maybe the attorneys did, but she didn't listen. The other thing is there is no gag order. So, you know, Fire Butterfly, would that be evidence? So, you mean would that be evidence? The what they submitted to court, for anything that they submitted to court is evidence. If you're talking about how she acted during the court case, usually the judge actually looks at that as well. It's not like they're not, it's not going to be the be all and end all of a case, but yes, the court actually looks into like how the people involved are actually acting in court. Okay. Next, let's see. Let's look at questions. Oh, there was someone who commented like, how can Hybe? Hani said she was holding back. Is the National Assembly and a YouTube live and demanding Be Lift Lab to show her pics of all their managers so she can identify them holding back? The Bio Explorer, leave her alone. Yeah, of course. Like, I'm sure you know this. Like, if you're in a court case, people, they won't leave you alone. The only way people are going to leave you alone if is the case is settled. So no. I have always wondered why other GG didn't use BTS except New Jeans. Now we know New Jeans and MHJ got the special treatment. If there's anything I don't like, it's that part. I don't like that BTS's name was used. And people in my Patreon, if you are in Patreon, you would know this. Like I always like remind people to not use BTS's name to promote anybody else, because or to be careful to not allow anybody else to benefit from the name of BTS. Because now there is already, if you are a group from Hybe, there is already an innate benefit for you because everyone's just going to automatically think BTS if you mention Hybe, right? So that cannot be avoided. Like, even if you don't tell news journalists, they will mention BTS because Hybe is BTS. So it's like the benefit is already there. Don't abuse it. And certainly don't drag the name of BTS for your benefit explicitly. So when they said that it was actually Min Hee Jin who requested that they be introduced as BTS's sister group, the first whatever, the next BTS or whatever, that didn't land on me well. I don't know why they allowed that. The only reasoning I can think of is that they feel, at least Hybe, they feel that they need to lift some of the pressure on BTS. Remember, BTS was contributing at some point 95% of the entire income of the company. And if they were active, they'd be contributing more. So up until 2023, they were contributing like 55, 60% of the annual income of the company, of Hybe, not just Big Hit. So if they don't, so I guess in their head it's like, okay, if they are going to be big, that's going to help at least lift some of the pressure off BTS's back. So that, and we know the reason is BTS wants to start pursuing their own music and not think about commercial success anymore. And they have all the right to do that. They have the right to just do the music that they want to do. So I think they were like, okay, let's help BTS, like, you know, remove some of the pressures remove some of the weight of BTS's back. That that doesn't justify it. I still don't like it. I don't like using BTS's name to benefit others. Um, okay. They were less than 3% of Hive's report. New Jeans was less than 3% of Hive's report. The next biggest contributor is 17. And they mentioned it. I mean, Hive actually mentioned it. So I think it was the CEO who mentioned it, or it was the B Lift CEO when he attended the. No, it was probably a statement from Hive, and they actually stated that if we go by the contribution of the company of the group to the company's bottom line, then 17 should get the second biggest treatment because they were contributing the biggest outside of BTS. Okay. If these statements are proven false, can they be sued for defamation? They can be sued for defamation and perjury. You don't make a false statement to the court. Again, people, if you're under oath, then don't ever lie. be sure be sure that you are accurate in what you're saying, that it's properly contextualized, or you just allow your lawyer to talk. If you're scared to talk, then allow your lawyer to talk. Leave it to your lawyer to talk, but don't ever lie. Okay. Me too. I've never heard of New Jeans until Jimin did ETA. they are j- they are jeans copycats, so maybe they should try in Mexico. Liana, so Fire Butterfly is asking if you have the link. Okay. Any other question before we go to our next topic? Assembly members should face questioning for this stupidity and bias. They both practice their crying for the courts. If you are um where is he? Where's okay. Just to make everybody feel better, you can look at Hobie. There you go. There. Look at Hobie. Oh my god. I might see him. I can't believe it. I might see him in Europe. Oh my god. I really am hoping. I hope the schedule actually gets settled, that my niece gets her ticket, her visa, so that we can all watch Hobie. Can Adore, oh, where is it? Wait. Can Adore sue for perjury, or is that something that the court decides? The court decides that. Yeah. Adore can sue for defamation. Um, supposed supposed to be their lawyers, but they were hired first by MHJ. Where is Jimin? Here's Jimin for you. There's Jimin. There's Jimin. Okay, I'll give you one good Jimin photo before we get into the next topic. This is one of my favorite Jimin photos. Where is that? Oh, now I can find. I have so many photos of him. I can find it now. But this is one of my favorite ever of Jimin. Wait, I hope I can find it so I can show it to you. It's gonna make you feel better. Here. Wait a minute. Where are you guys? Okay. Let me put this so that you will feel better. Here. Kim Soyun mess. Isn't that cute? Isn't that a cute picture of Jimin? Cute, right? It's so cute. The link for the lawyer. Let me put it here. So maybe wait. You want the link for the lawyer's website? Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you're looking for? The link for the lawyer's website, or no? Or are you looking for something else? Jimin, there. I know, right? He's so cute. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Actually, these are some of the things that I just want to highlight on my interview with the lawyer, Ken Sterling. As I've mentioned in the intro of the interview, he is by far one of the best entertainment lawyers in the industry and in the US, primarily because he has a very unique perspective, because he's not just an entertainment lawyer, he's also a talent manager. So he's able to give a more comprehensive look at the cases. So, okay, one of the things that stood out in that interview that he mentioned is that laws or regulations are put in place, and then it gets tested. After it gets tested, it gets revised, and then it gets tested again. And that entire cycle is about 10 years before we get a competent enough of a regulation. Doll baby, thank you. My God, thank you. Show me a picture. Show me a picture of Jungkook. Wait, I'm gonna give you a good picture of Jungkook. Wait, let me. I have so many pictures of Jungkook. Okay, wait. Do you want him shirtless or? Okay. Do you want something like uh wholesome or not so wholesome? Not very wholesome? Okay. All right. Mochi face. Show me a picture. Okay. Oh my God, you're gonna. You want something wholesome for Jungkook or not so wholesome? Okay. Are you sure? There's Jungkook. Sure. Nah, there's Jungkook for you. Wholesome? Wholesome. I'm just gonna show you pictures. If it is this easy, I wouldn't have to. I would have to put in so much work. The shirtless pic of Jimin in Saint Laurent. Kimono hoodie knocks me out. You said you didn't want anything. You didn't want anything wholesome, so that's what I put. Okay, let me change this. Are you done looking at him? Let me give you something more wholesome for Jungkook. You're challenging me. That's wholesome. And he was very, very young. He was, I think this is the No Dream era. Good night, Danji. Thank you. Um, okay, I'll keep this photo while I answer this question. Before I continue with Ken Sterling, was the judge for this injunction the same as the first one who ruled for MHJ? No, different. Different. So maybe I can just like for 2 hours keep on showing you pictures of just numbers. I have like 2 terabytes of their pictures. I'm not gonna run out. So, so I just want to put it out there. Don't challenge me because I have 2 terabytes of their pictures. So that song, that Pied Piper song of RM stating that we have a lot of pictures of them already. That was for me. He wrote it specifically for me. Okay. Wait a minute. How am I going to continue with Ken Sterling if if I keep on showing you? Okay, 1 second. Let me look for RM photo, and then I'm going to continue, Ken. You guys are so funny. I can't believe you don't have these pictures. How come you don't have these pictures? Wait, I'm going through my. I am looking for something specific. Let me see if I can if I can find it. It doesn't have I don't have a lot of RM doesn't have a lot of shirtless photos, by the way. So um but I have a few. But you probably want something wholesome for RM, right? Because it's RM, he's our leader. So I'm gonna guess that you want something wholesome. Okay, 1 second. Here. Okay. Let me okay. Okay. I collect more BTS meme than pictures. There you go. That's RM for you. Mr. Lee is a bomb. That's what we have you for. We can always count on you for the best of everything. Okay. By the way, I'm not like specifically looking for the shirtless pictures. It's just that it's all over. Like a lot of the photos that get forwarded to me on Twitter, and then of course they have like I have the BTS memories and all of those stuff, and so I have copies of the photos of those. Um, Banguna, he's a sexy. He is. He's very sexy. So between that and this, and then you have the gym and cuteness. I mean, that's it. That's your day, right? That is your day. Okay, should we continue my Ken presentation? I prepared this for you. And all you want is just pictures. I'm going to have one live stream where I'm just going to go through the different pictures of BTS. How's that? Do you guys have all the BTS memories? So, in the BTS memories, they actually have photos so that they don't release. So, I want Namjoon and not wholesome, please. Okay. Shirtless gym photos. Okay. You do not have. Okay. So one of this. So maybe in my next stream, I'm going to show you one of the some of the photos. Like I'll probably go through like some of the. I'll go through the BTS memories and the photos inside their albums. I'll go through it one by one, so that you can see the photos that are inside. So usually I buy two because one of them I open and then the other I still like I just keep closed. So I'll do that. How's that? Armies on Twitter voted, and we have decided that Mr. Lee's fandom will be known as legions. That is so cute. Does he know? So are we going to have signs of Mr. Lee next time? Um, okay. Let's go through 10 minutes to Fallon. I know. So I don't think I can finish all of this. So I'll just finish Ken. Or do you want, yeah, I'll just finish Ken because the other one that I have are BTS songs that can make you a better person. And this actually came from one request because they said that I made her very, very sad with the last live that I did talking about some of the saddest BTS songs. So she said, can you do, can you help us recover and do something positive? So so I'll do that. Okay, so let's go through quickly and it's also an hour, almost an hour and a half already. So for maybe we can just watch the Fallon together. I can't put it here because YouTube is going to block me, but but we can watch it together. I'll see if it's on. Okay. So one interesting thing is how the laws are actually put in place. It gets tested and then it gets revised and then tested again. And this entire cycle, he said, is usually 10 years before we can have a competent enough of a regulation. So my thought when he said that is that can't be that is not um that can't be what we have because technology is going to move so fast that the 10-year cycle is going to do more damage than good, because we because technology is just going to do so much more than what we're able to do. So eventually, all this AI, they can recreate people on screen and finish an entire movie without having to ask the actor to come to the studio. So things like that. And then there are technologies or uses of AI, for example, that isn't just limited to on-screen skills, like graphic designers, music scorers. All of these things AI will be able to do in the future. So if we're not able to legislate and actually go through the cycle faster, then it's going to do a lot of damage to more people than actual good. Okay. Next, he did say, next is that he said that an artist isn't a commodity, but their branding and their art are. So I thought that distinction that he made between the art and the artist, it's meaningful and important, because most of the time we are unable to separate the artist from their brand and from their art. So we do need to be conscious of the fact that artists are not material beings. They're actually human beings. And that even if we pay for their commodity, which is their art, it doesn't give us a right over the artists themselves. So we can criticize the art. We can talk trash about the art if we want to. We shouldn't. But the artist is a different thing. That is not a commodity, and that is not something that we can pay for. Next, the court considers the necessity of certain parts to make a whole. So this is actually in relation to the Vicha case. So the court considers the necessity of certain parts to make a whole. If they create a group and then they assign a role, a specific role to each member, if the role stops getting fulfilled, it damages the whole. So, for example, you know that in K-pop, certain members have specific roles to fulfill, right? So, like, he's the quiet one, he's the fashionista one, he's the pretty face one, or whatever. That the court will look at it as an entire product with different spare parts, with different components. And so these artists that the company recruited, if they stop fulfilling the role that they were assigned, then the brand gets damaged. So when lawsuits are filed, the court has to consider that the product that the brand that the agency is creating, the role of each individual is a necessity. So if an individual, if one artist refuses to play their role, then it does not necessarily mean they are free of the responsibility, because the court will have to think about how that's going to damage the product that is being made. Okay. um Next, he said that AI is a tool. The threat is the person who knows how to use AI, but not AI itself. And that I actually kind of know that, but the way that he articulated it sort of clicked something in me that I was like, oh my God, yeah, absolutely. Like, there will never be a time, I don't think, that machines will take over running the world. It's actually people that know and are willing to use AI that will take over the world. So if you're an artist, if you're a professional, if you are a practitioner, the next step for you is to learn AI, robotics, all of these technologies, and know how to use it to your advantage to serve you. But don't ever be scared of the technology itself, because it's not going to run itself. It will always learn from humans. It maybe because the both of us, Ken and I, have a lot of faith in humanity. we don't. I personally don't think we will ever get to a point where we are going to be inferior to machines, but we can be inferior to other people who are willing to use the machines. Okay. Next. Alina said, I personally hate AI. Next. It's interesting that there are so many people watching on uh on Instagram as well. To everybody watching on Instagram, hello. Okay. Okay. Next is, oh, Sinri, bye. Sinri. Certain provisions of a contract may be invalidated, but it does not necessarily mean the whole contract is invalid. This is important for Vicha and for New Jeans. So he's saying that when you sign an entire contract, just because one, two, three, four, five provisions are not valid or may be invalidated, it does not necessarily mean the entire contract is invalid. So I specifically raised the concern about the girl being dictated, like all of these management companies. What we learned from the contract that Vicha members signed is that they control everything: the weight, the color of their hair, tattoos, how they're going to act, behave, talk. So even if the court says you do not have the right to do that, you cannot dictate the length of their hair or how they're going to talk or the way. You can't do all of these things. It does not mean that the court will say because that provision is in there, the entire contract is invalid. It doesn't work that way. The court can actually say this part of the contract is bad. This is You cannot execute this part of the contract, but the entire contract still remains. Okay. Apobangpo said, AI won't replace humans, but humans who know how to use AI will replace those who don't. Yeah, they are the threat. It's those who know how to use AI. Next is that what hurts isn't necessarily illegal, because many, and this is very common because of the I want to be careful on how the awareness on social media on a lot of issues. There's always like, you're offending me, like that is offensive, that's not a nice thing to say. You're dehumanizing people. And at the end of the day, what it's actually saying, just because you're offended or you're hurt does not make it illegal. So in like, of course, we had some conversations off camera. That's one of the things that I asked him. I said, like, what if I call somebody like, oh, that person is so fat, like, just for example, like, that person is so fat. And he said that maybe that's of course not nice. You shouldn't be doing that. That is unethical, absolutely. But if you can prove that that person is fat, you're probably not going to go to jail, or you're probably not going to get sued. You may get sued, but that's probably going to be dismissed, because you can just say, I was just reporting a fact. I was reporting a news, and that person is overweight, so that's what I said. So just because you're offended, just because you that person, the other person said something inappropriate, doesn't necessarily mean it is illegal. So that we both believe. Do remember that he also said that freedom of expression applies to the government. So the government cannot impede your freedom to speech, to express yourself, but private individuals do. But just because there are provisions that allow private individuals to impede your freedom of expression doesn't mean that it is easy to do. Next, some would actually willingly get sued for as long as they earn more than what they need to pay. So he mentioned in the interview that there is this phone company in South Korea that decided to swipe the phone feature of another company. Let's call them, let's hide them by the name of Samsung. So let's assume that Samsung swipe the touch the disappearing keyboards of iPhone, right? So it doesn't appear until you're actually it doesn't appear until you're actually using it, until you make it appear. So this other company that we will pretend to call Samsung sued them. Sorry, they got sued. Um, so then Samsung, this other company, willingly got sued. They knew they were going to get sued. They willingly did it because, according to their computation, they will still be earning a lot of money, even if they get sued and they pay a penalty. Okay. Okay. Next, dura lex sed lex. This is actually something that we learned in journalism school, that the law may be harsh, but that is the law. Meaning there's a lot of things in the law that we will not like, but that is the law. It is not good. Like, for example, as I've said, in the case of Songri, I think that should be 25 to life. But if in the law of South Korea it states that such a violation or such a crime may only be punished up to 18 months in prison, then they are within their bounds. So the law will not always favor what we think is right, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't respect it. Okay. Fallon just started. I don't think it started on here. Let me see. I have to, I might get banned. I don't want to broadcast it because I'm going to get banned. Is he performing already or just his opening? Not PST. Okay, not PST. Okay, next is, so I'm just going to continue for those that are still here. Next is that you can ask the court for anything, but implementing the decision is a different thing. So a lot of us continuously ask or question, like, why is Hyde not doing this? Why is Big Hit not doing this? And the answer sometimes is that probably they did. Probably they got the decision in their favor, but implementing the decision is an entirely different thing. Because just because it's not easy to find the person that is hiding behind their monitors. It's not easy to find somebody who's hiding in another country. So you can ask the court for anything, but even if the court decides on your favor, it does not necessarily mean that you will be able to implement it the way that you want to do. And last, there is no substitute for greatness. And I think this is one of the best takeaways I got in that interview, because he just affirmed what I have always known, that is, real artists won't run out of job. They will not, they will always be in need, because in fact, as AI becomes stronger, as it becomes more common, then our need for real, supreme, outstanding, great art will even be more intense, because all we will get will be AI generated content that does not touch our soul, that does not speak relevant things to us. And only real artists will be able to do that. So I am absolutely not worried about AI. And just like him, I do believe that at the end of the day, AI is my utility, it is my tool, and I will use it to serve me. And then I know that I have no reason to fear the technology, especially not in the arts. And I am standing the right group, because if there's anybody who can speak depth and substance, it's BTS. Okay. Okay. um I'm watching Fair on my phone and Fallon on my TV. Oh my god, I appreciate all of your dedication. I have one earbud listening to you and the Fallon and TV in the background. Oh my god, I think he's doing, let me see. I think he's doing a let me see. I think I can pull it up here. Maybe if I disconnect, what time? How many? Okay. You're going to see J Hope. Okay. I understand. If it's J Hope, it's definitely. Uh, Bang Luna said, I'm taping to watch it on my leisure. We use AI all the time. Oh, correct. Yes, we do use AI all the time. It's just that we're not always aware that it's AI that we are using. So, as of the moment, most of the things that you're using commercially, they already have AI. It has been around for quite a while. I mean, your searches on Google, that's artificial intelligence. If you're shopping online, that's artificial intelligence. So there's a lot of things that you're actually using and doing that's already using AI. Hobie looked amazing in his live. Okay, do you want me to? How do I do it? What if YouTube block me? Fire Butterfly said, AI in the art world, it's stealing the art that people have a problem with. It's stealing the art that people have a problem. What do you mean by that? And also, AI is not 100% accurate. Oh, it's not. I mean, people aren't 100% accurate, right? So, and we're training AI. So, if it is less, if we're not accurate, then the things that we train also won't be 100% accurate. I think only on Patreon or Twitch. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can do. Let me see. Marina said there is a really interesting interview with the late David Bowie regarding what he thought about technology and how it will play into our lives. Give me the link. Post it on Patreon. Make the screen opaque if you stream it. AI is programmed to use samples of art, and companies are using art by real artists to train AI. Uh, yes, so that is true, but it will always be, in my opinion, I think the art of AI will always be inferior to art of humans, because, as I've said, we're training it, so it will always be behind us. Like the way that we have evolved our consciousness and all of those things, we will always stay ahead, and it will always be several steps behind. And the other thing is that I mean, not to be spiritual and all, we do have soul. I believe that we have this consciousness, and AI does not. And that is something. And when it comes to art, soul is a huge thing, right? The consciousness is a huge thing. So I don't think it will, like, I don't want to make it too philosophical or make it whatever. So, um, Hobie did the dance challenge with Jimmy. Okay, let me see if I can stream it here without getting banned. Peekaboo Hobie. Okay. All right. So I was going to do one more topic, but I only have 20 minutes left. So do you have questions before, only on Patreon or Twitch, not on YouTube? I don't know how to disconnect only on YouTube. And most of you are on YouTube. The new XG looks so bad because of the AI. Like, please just put effort in it. I was really looking forward to it. XGMB. AI cannot replicate human likeness. It cannot replicate human likeness. Okay. Let me see. I don't want to start the other topic because it's going to take me some time, and I want to give it some, like, justice in presenting it, because it's about BTS. I was working, the Bio Explorer said I was working on the dance challenge today, and it was okay. Let me see if I can find the. Do you like what AI has done to music? Apo Bangpo, do you like what AI has done to music? Um, there are certainly no. That is the answer. No, I don't like what AI has done to music, although not all of it. There are certain things that I find AI to be useful. So, for example, the latest song of the Beatles. So they extracted, using AI. They extracted the voice of John Lennon and put it in the song of the new song of the Beatles. I think that's a good use of AI, because that is still his voice. You didn't really change anything. They took it using AI and put it in a song so that they can release a new song as the Beatles. So I think that's a good use of AI. I think I've mentioned before, like, I am actually creating something like an animation. Um, and in my original plan was to actually use my father. Even when he was alive, I wanted to use him as one of the characters. And I won't be opposed to using AI to get his voice, his resonance, and read the script. So I think those uses of AI, they're okay. Okay, so let's set that let's set that aside. I never ever like using AI, and I never would agree to using AI to duplicate voices, faces, body of people without their permission. AI can do that, but I will never ever like doing that. Um, Believe it or not, though, there are a lot of songs that are worse than what AI has actually made. So, like, there are recently released songs when I was actually going to do it for you guys. I actually generated lyrics from AI. So I gave them the same theme of a song that was just released, and I asked AI to write his version of the lyrics. Um, and AI just returned a much better lyrics. And I thought, like, is this AI's fault that people are supporting all of this substandard songs with pure quality, and the songs that don't mean anything? I mean, that's not AI's fault. That's humans' fault. These are the singer's fault. And so that's what I'm talking about when I said that at some point AI is going to displace mediocrity, because we will be able to get mediocrity from AI. So I think it's just up to humans to actually, I mean, come on, why are we supporting all of these songs, all of these singers that are not really creating quality art, right? Um, who no radio, so consider bought. No radio mean no general public, only Jimin fans listening to it. I love Jimin, but doesn't look good for Army already has that bought reparation hurt all BTS song. Um, you mean like because Jimin's song does not have radio support, people are assuming that bot is streaming the song. Is that what you're saying? And so in the long run, that's going to hurt the reputation of um, BTS, because everyone's going to think that it's just bot. Is that your question? If that is your question, if I got your question correctly, my answer is absolutely no. We know that it's real people that are streaming. So that's all that matters to me. If they think we're bots, fine. I don't really care about the opinion of people who don't matter and who are obviously just hating. So go ahead and think what they want. I'm not bothered by that. Um, I mean, they've BTS, Jimin, Army have been accused of far worse, and this is not one of the worst. So I don't care. The only thing that I care about is supporting BTS, supporting and the individual members of BTS. And for as long as I enjoy their music, for as long as to the best of what I can, I'm able to support them. And, most of the time we're able to get the results. That's all that matters. Okay. Um, Next question. The beauty of being human is imperfection. That is part of the beauty of human, the imperfection. Uh, I haven't seen any of the challenges of, okay, maybe I can. I'm trying to, like, how do I stream it without actually, and I'm not even sure if it's already on mine, if the show is already on here, because I'm in Pacific, I'm in California. Probably not yet, right? Because I think it's supposed to be 11:30 for California. Okay. Cindy E commercial, I'm back. Yeah, so I hope I answered that question clearly. Just I don't pay attention to any of that, and I will continue supporting the boys. I think most of the hate that this song is getting is primarily because it's a solo song. The entire idea was Jimin, and then it surpassed, and it does not have any kind of mainstream support except for one guesting in the US. It doesn't have any kind of radio support, and it surpassed Gangnam Style. So But I already posted a story explaining that Gangnam Style did have mainstream support in the US. It was supported by Scooter Braun. So it isn't as organic as people think it is. Okay. All right, I have 11 minutes. Is there anything else that you want to discuss before we all go? I don't know if I can I don't know if I can. Please stream Sweet Dreams a lot. Please do that. Let me see if I can search, if I can find the um with Jimmy Fallon, the dance challenge. Oh, it's in shorts. Sylvia said, your interview with the lawyer was really interesting. I hope you get a chance to interview again. The next interview I have, so I'm going to interview a psychologist and sociologist just to understand like the psyche of this people that are, like the toxic K-pop fans. I want to understand their psyche. Uh, and also like getting to the minds of superstars, like why so many of them actually go astray, they take drugs and whatever, like what's is there like a psychological sociological explanation as to why uh many young stars actually go astray. Of course there's also many young stars that don't, right? So but just to understand, to give us a better idea, I also want to understand like the mindset that artists have when they go on stage versus their mindset when they go off stage. So that's one big interview that I'm going to be doing. But in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be interviewing a new model who's just starting to audition, just to so he can share like his experience and how difficult it is to get booked by different photographers and different brands. I'm also going to interview a talent manager. He's not a big talent manager, so I just want to see like get the perspective of someone who is also like hustling to become a bigger talent manager. But yeah, Dawn Marie, are you working on your book? Yes. So as I think I've mentioned to you guys that I just like finally found the assistant that I have, and currently her priority is the website because I want that live by this month. So she's working on the website. It's going to be like the um an online magazine. After that, like if things go well, then I will probably most likely get a professional website designer. But right now, we're just trying to make do with what we have. And she's pretty good. She's learning. So that's her priority, the website. After that, we're going to tackle and then after that my priority will shift to the book. I'm writing the book, it's just that it's not going as fast as it could because we're both working on the website. Bang Duna is saying good night. Good night, Bang Duna. Good night, all. Apo Bang po. We should do all dance challenges. At least we will be fitter trying to catch up on the OT7. I have a walking pad, which I stopped using for a while because well, I had to rearrange my life. But now I think I finally figured out how I can fit it here. I actually bought a new one. It folds. So I'll be able to walk again. Usually, when before my mom arrived, I was actually walking like 2 hours every day, just like while working. I was able to walk. I would be walking, but now that I have that new one, I just need to set it up, and I will be able to go back to walking while listening to BTS music. Okay. Um, Jimin isn't doing well due to solos, though. What do you mean? Due to solos? You mean solos aren't streaming? They never stream though. The Sweet Dreams kind, yeah, the dance challenge of Sweet Dreams is not easy. I think there's still one more song of the album, hoping they take their time with this one, even if it doesn't follow their storyline. Apo bang po? Of course, BTS have shown how it's done. Once again, BTS will pave the way. is it this Bellatrix? I see other groups copying this preparedness for military BTS. Yeah, yes. So some of them are already starting to. BTS wasn't the first. SF9, I think, is the name of the group. They also enlisted almost right around the same time, just like BTS. But BTS is the first one who's this big, who's like popular, and they did it this way because many other groups would just enlist one by one because they want to be able to do um, individual activities. So definitely BTS was like a trailblazer, and now I think people realize that it's working, so they want to copy the strategy. Sam L, why is Jimin predicted not to do well? Is there some kind of manipulation? No, well, there are a lot of new releases last week, so of course he's gonna have to compete with new releases, and his song has been, it's 8 months old, or at least on its way to the eighth month. So it's 8 months old. So it's kind of hard to compete with all of that. But so we can't just maintain our streams. We actually need to increase our streams. Fairlane, that was to someone talking about how the solo stands are great at streaming. Ah, okay. Got it. Got it. Apparently, Hobie is on Fallon now. He is, but for California, he's not yet on Fallon because it's too early for us. But his he so the his dance challenge is already on YouTube. The one that he did with Jimmy Fallon. If you go to YouTube, you will be able to see the his dance challenge. Do you think other groups can afford to go to the military as a whole? Of course they can. It's just a matter, it's just will, right? As I've said, most of them are not saving, are not serving altogether because they want to do individual activities. Because usually by the time that they go inside the military, this is also right around the time that they're kind of itching to break away from the group and establish their own name. So they use that opportunity while their group members aren't around. They use that opportunity to establish their solo careers. So BTS was just, that's why they shocked everybody, because um BTS did the opposite. Like they were able to do both at the same time. They were able to serve and also establish almost right around the same time, and also establish their names as like their solo careers. So only BTS was able to do it. And so that's the model now that other groups are copying. They want to be able to do the same thing, and that is enlist right around the same time, but also be able to establish their own name. um Who's that? Where's that? Twitch, by the way, will make you more money than YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I'm on Twitch. I am on Twitch. I had to slow down the dance challenge tutorial a lot to even get it even close. We have to show us your dance challenge, the Bio Explorer. You have to post it on Patreon. I wonder what will happen to K-pop when BTS comes back. The other groups are just warming up in popularity on a global level. Um, what will happen to, I think, to a certain degree, they definitely will help bring back the attention to K-pop, which is missing by a lot nowadays. So they will definitely bring the attention back when they come back. But whether or not there can be somebody who will be able to, there will be somebody who will be just as popular, if not more popular than they are. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think other groups will have to create their own niche. I mean, the way has already been paved, right? They just need to be able to learn how to establish their own niche and establish their own name. But I don't think they can ever copy the success of BTS. Sylvia said, I hope they can broaden their fan base when they get back, not so much to interfere with me getting a ticket when they get back. um You have to work twice as fast to do a solo project and prepare 18 months for of material. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about the solo work of BTS. Like they keep on asking for more from BTS members as solo activities. Like, oh, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? And I was like, do you think it's easy to do all of this in 6 months or in 8 months? So, like many of the, like they wanted Jungkook to do a tour. They wanted to, like they were accusing Big Hit of not giving Jungkook an opportunity to tour. But it's like he's going to serve. Like what else? He's done so much already. What else do you want him to do given the amount of he didn't even want to do a solo activity. He just wanted to rest and then enlist and then come back with the BTS members. So like there's many people are just demanding so much of the group, but I think they're missing the fact that it's not easy to actually do all of the solo activities. So if other groups want to copy what BTS has done, then they're going to have to be as strategic and have enough support as BTS did that allowed them to do their solo activities. The Bike Explorer, no, I was just practicing for fun and the concert. Well, not anymore. Okay. Bang Luna, you're missing the point. Who has no radio people been? Huh? Bang Luna, she's not here anymore. She left. She had to sleep. She's in the East Coast. Who has no radio people been talking about it for months? The monthly what the monthly listener don't match the stream. This could be bad for BTS army already called bots. Why do you care about them? Why do you care so much about them? They're not helping. So let them talk, let them yap, leave them alone with whatever is going to, if it's going to make them help, if it's going to help them sleep at night, let them yap. It is not going to change the result. It will not change the result. No matter how much they yap, it will not change the result. And Army is known for results. Okay. J-Hope Sweet Dreams remixes. Okay. Before we go into before I go, I just want to remind everybody, please stream Who. It is not tracking to be inside Billboard Hot 100 for the coming week. It's not tracking at all. It's going to drop. And because it has ranked, it has charted for so long, it is not going to it's not going to come back unless it goes up to like number one. It zooms to number one. They won't bring it back again. So we need to keep it inside Billboard Hot 100. Now is not the time. Um, um, so that now is not the time to get our foot off the gas. We need to continue, please. And we only have 3 days left of tracking. Two days left of tracking. So we need to make sure that we are streaming in order to keep him inside the chart. Because, and again, if he drops, if he goes to recurrent, he's not going back unless you actually, it goes like to number one. It zooms past number one or something. So please, next, Sweet Dreams, please stream. Get a second account. Get the, take the, utilize the trials of Tidal, Napster, Amazon Music, Deezer. Get a free trial. Use that to stream on your second and third device. You have 1 month. And then you can stop that before the 1 month ends and then shift to another free trial. Just keep on doing that. Let's keep the songs. Let's keep streaming the songs. Let's keep Who inside Billboard Hot 100. And let's push Sweet Dreams inside Billboard Hot 100. Please. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's already 2 hours and 3 minutes. I wanted to end at exactly 2 hours. But thank you so much. I will be taking my dog for his last walk, and then I am going to rest while I watch Jimmy Fallon. Thank you for joining me. To everybody on Instagram, thank you. Bye. I will end my live. But also to everybody on YouTube, on Twitch, and on X, thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.